Okay, we're going to try and make this thing a runner. I got the gas lines in and the copper washers. And then here's the little banjo fittings. And the fuel barbs. Or the fuel line barbs. They were an M metric 8mm by 1.0 thread. One there, got one in the hose here. I wanted to check and see if it fit. And then clamps, copper washers for everything. Alright, and we're going to try and make this all up. So we'll probably just pick one circuit to do and then get that one done and then move on to the next circuit. So I think the first thing we'll do here is we will fix this banjo fittings on the injector here. So this has the fiber washers on it, so we'll take this thing out and then we'll replace the fiber washers with those copper washers that we got. I think they're it's 11. Can't remember. Okay, here we go. So these washers come in different sizes, different inners and outers. There it is. So this is what fits in the injector, and then that's your delivery line. I don't know if the original used fiber or if it used copper. So this goes in and out, and I think I don't know exactly how this thing works, but I was on the struggle bus a little bit there getting it started. But there's some adjustment in this thing. I'm not quite sure how to do it. But I think we're going to find out as we mess with it further. Once we get it running, we'll have to see if it works or not. If you look here, hold on, we'll zoom in on it. So if you look, whenever you open this throttle up, see how it moves? See how it moves that whole rig? And I think that that kind of is like your fuel delivery. But I don't know exactly how it works, and I don't know if I really understand the concept of how it adjusts. All right, so anyways, we got that one. That one's all down and sealed up. These are almost like the same type of fittings that you use on brake lines and stuff, you know? Banjo fittings. Never seen them on a chainsaw before. I suppose it's not too far out of the realm, especially for the time frame this was made in. Anyways, we're going to find out all about this guy here, how that thing works, as we get into this a little bit more. So next up, what we need to do here, we're going to work on this one section at a time. So this upper is the fuel delivery line, and then it goes down to this injector here, and then this here, and this here is your impulse. You got these barbed fittings for the impulse line. So we can do these. You know what, maybe what we'll do, because this guy comes off of here, we'll take this off. Thank goodness these are all metric. And if they weren't, I'd have to learn all about pipe threads. Put the barb on there like that. And the other thing we're going to do is we're going to pressure test everything. I got my Mighty Vac here. We want to pressure test everything, or the systems, to make sure. Or at least we're going to think about pressure testing it, how we're going to do it. Just tighten these little fittings down here. And then, like I said, that upper fitting on this, there's actually a check valve in there. So it can only go one way. This guy's in a little bit of a tight spot here. Let me grab a little something to ease my job along here. Alright, I got this little guy here. This should make it a little bit easier to get them threads started. Little too late in the day to be fucking around with this stuff. Having like one of those threads that just didn't want to start there. Have you ever been there? Alright, should be good with that guy. And then we'll do the same here on this guy. Alright. You're ready to install the line and clamps there in just a moment. And then we'll take this guy off. We do have a little bit of fuel in the tank. Okay. So this is your shut off, and then I put that fuel line and a new filter on there. And then let me think how this guy went. So go like this, and then new copper washer. You know what? I should have gotten 3 of the bigger copper, the bigger size. But I just got 2. Put that guy on there. And then let me think how this guy goes here. And this. So put that little fitting, yeah, there it is. Put that little fitting there, and then we're set up at least for the banjo fitting. And then we'll put the fuel line back on. And that's a good start. Now we're not going to crank everything down until we got the lines on it. I'm going to put the other copper washer on this guy here. And then we'll put our banjo fitting here, our banjo fitting there. And we'll put the other washer on. And then the nut. And the same with this one. We're not going to tighten it all the way down until we've got everything connected, because we might have to have some shimmying around we got to do. And the line we ended up getting is some pretty nice braided line. This company here had all the washers and everything. Bellmetric.com. They had all the banjo fittings and everything. They're just in Massachusetts. And they had this nice braided fuel line. Stuff's made in Germany. Universal fuel hose. Flenner. F-L-E-N-N-O-R. Flenner. I got 2 different sizes. One bigger one and one smaller one. Okay. So Now this one will be for here, and we'll take a look on how we want to route it. I'm just going to gently push it on there. And then we could use this to figure out the length and then how we want to route it. So if we actually turn it like this, we could route it like that. We could route it like out and around. Oh, I think I kind of like this. And I think I kind of like that. Yeah, I think I kind of like this the most. Kind of just like that. So we'll snip it here. I don't know if these snips are going to be quite good enough. Yeah, well, that worked. And we got some band clamps here. Okay. Putting together a piece of IKEA furniture. Don't tighten everything up until everything is ready. I think these band clamps should shrink down small enough for that outside diameter of that line. Well, we're going to find out. Okay, and now we'll do this guy here. So this will be the same thing. And then we're going to try and let's see if we can bend it up. Yep, like that. So probably about like here. I ordered plenty extra just in case I had to do it more than once. Okay. See if she'll go on without, oh yeah, she'll go without kinking. I'm going to take these clamps in a little bit so I ain't messing with them while they're down in there. There we go. Now that should work out nice. Yep. pretty good. I'll do the same thing with the other one. Fire it on there. I was worried we were going to get a little interference, but we did not. Because those barbs, I put those barbs on there. And it's hard to find off-the-shelf parts that'll work, and these are a little bit longer than I was hoping for. And everything's kind of special. So like this one here that runs the impulse, it has a little bit of a weird tapered and different thread pitch on the end, and I didn't know what it was. I didn't want to go fooling with it too much, but this end had the M8 by 1.0, and then this has the check valve in it. So I really couldn't do a whole lot else. Other than, you know, try and make some off-the-shelf parts work. And I didn't want to put the fuel hose up over the threads. I mean, you could, and then just clamp it down over the threads, but I didn't really want to do that. I wanted to have something that was a little bit better fit than that. Okay. So now these are ready, but first I'm going to tighten down the little bolts here. Let's see, I need an 11. There we go. Yep. Just crush that copper washer down there. And that should create a good seal. Okay, and then same with this guy. This one here is, I don't know if it's like a 14 maybe. Yeah. I was going to pressure test everything, but we're going to find out. One way or the other, we're going to find out. What are we going to do if it don't run? That one is done. This lower one, and then that's going to be it. So that's my tutorial for how to replace the fuel lines on a Jonsered XD for the only one other guy that has one of these in the United States. There you go, buddy. I did it for you. Hopefully we can get a runner out of this guy. That would be a treat. Like I said in the first video, the way it states in the manual is that you got to pull on it a few times to pressurize the tank first with the valve closed. And then once the tank is pressurized, you can open up the valve, and you can press, there's a little primer button here. You press, and that'll drip a little bit of gas down into the, come on guy, come on off of there. That'll drip a little gas down in, and that'll be enough to prime it, hopefully. And then it'll start delivering fuel, and apparently it'll start. So we're going to give it a try. All right. Okay. Sounded like it was running a little bit lean. It was like starving for fuel. So it's hard to tell if it's the actual lines, like it's, you know, losing prime, or losing, you know, vacuum, whatever, or if it's, so what it looks like is, this is your throttle, okay? If you look in there, I'll try and get zoom in. See, that's your butterfly. Okay, so that opens and closes. All right, here we go. Got a little light on it now. So that's your butterfly in action. You can kind of see it. See? So that's your butterfly. But then I think, thank you. So I think that this is this little guy here. See, when you move it, see how it moves that in and out? So this is like your injector here. I think what I need to do is I need to adjust this. I need to adjust this guy so it's delivering a little bit more fuel. So that's the next move. And it seems like the more towards the front of the saw, the more fuel it delivers, because this is what happens whenever you open the throttle. It moves towards the front of the saw. So I think we need to adjust this a little bit. All right, we're going to do a quick little at-home test on if this fuel system is delivering that fuel good or not. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to pressurize the tank like this. Okay, so that pressurizes the tank. And then we're going to take this fitting here. We're going to put it down in this can of fuel, and then we'll crack that valve. No, it really ain't delivering the fuel, huh? It's delivering it a little bit, but not all the way, you know? Not as much as we need anyways. I wonder if we have a leak or if there's something else going on. Let's see if let's just double check and make sure the filter is submerged. Yep, filter's fully submerged. It seems like this cap seals up good. And I was getting the fuel a little bit, but not all the way. And we'll try it one more time. Think about what we're doing here, so that everything should work. I don't know if you, oh, there it is, yeah, see? Oh yeah, it's delivering it. Okay. Well, maybe this valve isn't really working perfectly. Okay, now what we'll do is, so we took the banjo fitting off, we took the copper washers off. Now we're going to take this guy back off. We're going to try and adjust this guy forward a little bit. Hope that ain't creating any problems for us, huh? This guy's a little bound up. Put this in here, and hopefully that'll give us the leverage we need to unseize it. Oh, I see. I see, look. Okay. I see how that works. All right. Try this first. So this guy comes undone. This is like a little pinch bolt type of deal. Okay. Undo that. And then, oh yeah, there we go. So we'll take this guy in a little bit, and we'll see if that will deliver enough fuel for us so we could take it out and run it. And I think this is going to just be a game of put it together, test it, take it apart, put it together, test it, take it apart, till we get it just right. But now that we know that you just loosen up this screw and then you should be able to turn it. Now we got the inside information. That's what's neat about all this stuff, is you get to learn on the fly a little bit with it. And that's the nature of all of it, really. Okay. It's all just nuts and bolts, Chris. Okay. Next time we won't have to take it apart though, because we got that. We'll undo that pinch bolt and then do that. All of this is a little bit unfamiliar to me, but we are a learner, that's for sure. The main thing is the desire to learn. Okay, give it a try. Ooh. Like, why did it run before? So this thing's still giving me some fits here. So I never pressure tested that fuel system. So I think it'd be wise, I think that's what I'm gonna do now, is we're gonna pressure test the fuel system. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plug my Mighty Vac into this, into this line here. And we'll pressure it and then see if we can get, if it'll hold pressure. And then if it doesn't, then we're going to determine why. So first what we'll do is we'll disconnect this line, take the clamp off. Now I didn't Teflon tape these brass fittings, and I'm wondering if it's leaking out of these barbs. It's possible. Like I said, this thing's still giving me some fits. This guy up a little bit here. Huh. I don't think there's supposed to be fuel coming out of that. Because that's supposed to be a one-way valve. See, so we're pumping it up here. It's definitely leaking. So we're gonna find out where it's leaking at. We'll just use soapy water to find out. So it's definitely leaking out of that fitting there, you see? Let's see if it's leaking here. So we're leaking out of the brass fittings. These barbs. It's got to be it. Yeah, we're definitely leaking out of this. See? You can see it there. So what we'll do now, let me see here. See? So you can see it. So that might be the cure-all for us right there is to just take this apart and we'll get these taped up, and that might fix us. It's very important that this system remain pressurized, because if you're losing that pressure and it's dropping off, well, there's no way to, there's no way to keep the system running. So it's imperative. Yeah. So we're going to try that and see what happens. Okay, so what I did was I just went through and I used that like gas line tape for this fitting here where it was leaking, and then I did this one as well. And now you could pressurize that tank up and it basically holds, there's very little leakage there now. So I wonder if that's going to be enough to get us to where we're going, because it holds pretty good. So we ain't leaking like we were before, because this gauge was just dropping right off. You pump it up to 5 and it might hold for 10 or 15 seconds, and because that tank needs to be pressurized in order for the system to work, you can never gain the pressure that you need to overcome, so you'd be losing it right away. I think this is going to be enough. I think we're probably going to be in good shape, but because I went in there and tweaked that carburetor, I may have to adjust that thing back a little bit. Ugh, look at this guy. So the spring, I don't know, there's something going on that rope because it's been yanking on it a bit. We're going to just like retension up this spring. Look at this guy. Look at that. When you pull on it, see how it pushes up? Look at that. Ugh. And then look. Let's see here. Yeah. It engages these little teeth on the flywheel. That's pretty neat. Yep, that's pretty neat. We just need to get some more tension on this, because that spring, I don't know, I think it come loose a little bit. So we're just going to tension this back up. Oh man, that thing is cool. Good news though, it was running pretty good. So we have to fool around with it a little bit more. But I might have it, might be able to show it running a little bit here after a minute. Okay, I got the starter rewound. Now let's see if we can achieve some moderate level of success here. Okay, maybe we have some luck.